NR2003 include AGG, so right on the money.
Hello and welcome to IFAR Season 16 here at Daytona Road Course. Last weekend, seen on Victor Delgado III's channel, they did the Daytona 250, where Cole Rodriguez was able to come out on top for that race. Tonight we got, actually I didn't check to see how many laps we had, shoot. But Victor, he's back in the booth with us tonight, just going to be me and him for this one. Big field tonight. I have, I believe, 25 cars-ish set a time in qualifying. Steven Gibson on the pole.
Yeah, 29 cars, really big field, and like you mentioned, last Saturday it was under the lights here at the Daytona National Speedway, but tonight it is in full sunshine, and instead of riding the big track, we are taking it left and right-hand turns in the road course style.
Yeah, and I think the big challenge tonight is going to be really just hitting your mark, staying consistent, trying not to cook the tires. With such a big field, I don't know how the runs are going to be. I know the last time we were in here, season 13.
14.
Oh, 14, my apologies. Season 14. So some of these guys haven't raced here in a while. Some of these guys have not raced here at all, to my knowledge. So definitely going to be something to watch for as this race goes on.
Right. 2 seasons ago, it was really restricted in terms of who was let in and who wasn't. Now is the league being open, it raises the skill gap between first and the last driver a lot larger than what it was. At least in terms of practice times, it was a 16-second difference between first, which was Steven Gibson, and last place, that set a lap time, which was Jack Lazard with a 207. And looks to be somewhat the same in qualifying, at least out of those who set a lap time. 10 seconds between Steven Gibson and Edgar Rivera.
All right. Well, let's get an idea who we got in this field. Obviously, our pole sitter, Mr. Steven Gibson, with a, I don't exactly remember what lap time he set, but I do know he set quite a heater, almost a second faster than the guy in fifth, if I remember
And a
correctly.
152.69 from the 51 Toyota driver.
Yep.
And whilst they're running happy hour, we might as well look at the rest of the starting grid. Landon Lau will start beside him, a 1 minute 53.05, sorry. Then it's Noah Degenhardt and Jolene Sims who make up row 2, with Landon Lau back and Scarpellino in row 3. Scarpellino making his IFAR debuts. Then it's Rivera and Joshua Clemens in row 4, with Gino Bononi and William Viola picking up the rest of the top 10. Behind him will be Muyan and O'Connor in row 6 with Scarrett and... No, sorry. Daniel Rodriguez and Garcia Muyan in row 6 with Ethan O'Connor and Ryan Scarrett row 7. Then it is Trawa again. Troxel row 8. Did two couple of new rookies in the IFAR field. Fred Belekanov, I hope I said that right, and qualified 17th with Jack Lazar in 18th, with Crawford and Gregory making up the top 20. Final 2 drivers to set that time were Trevor Davidson, Iker Rivera. His name is a bit weird. Then the rest of the cars who hadn't set that time were Shinonome, Blaine Davis, Friesen Rodriguez, Joe Schmuda, Dan Sella, Liam Tingley, and Joseph Fajardo. Currently unknown if Alexander Gonzalez-Greene is racing, but I presume not. So 29 cars, but in the event he does race, it'll be 30 cars tackling the 3.57-mile road course.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something. I checked the estimated fuel. This is just an estimate. 14 laps on a tank. You got a 28 lap race. Victor, if it were you in the car, how would you split that up, in your opinion?
One stop is really risky because on top of the tight fuel window, you also got high tire wear if you abuse them too much in the early going. So a two stop is definitely safer. Probably take 10 lap stints to get you to the end of the race.
Right. I think another factor to consider in that as well is the possibility of early yellows. To keep that in mind.
Right, with so many inexperienced drivers, and then we're going to be running double file all bunched up together in the early going, not knowing where you should be braking on the initial stars is going to cause a lot of mayhem as into turn one.
Yeah, the hope is everybody just kind of eases in, takes it easy, and just lets the race go on from there, but only time will tell on that. They got about 8 minutes left in happy hour.
They might go sooner.
Yeah, they might. That's true. But yeah, Jolene Sims. Last week we had a driver enter this field named John Cookies. They left quite the interesting impression last week. And Jolene Sims, they seen the car that they had, and they were like, "Shoot, I'll pick this up, run it when we run the road course." And there they are in the 06. If you look on the right side of the car, which you'll probably see here in a moment, or you might have already seen, there was a bit of a stuff that happened on the side of that car. So I'm assuming John Cookies is no longer with us. So rest in peace to him if that's the case.
For context, he indirectly caused a wreck in the IFAR 250 as well as breaking the quiet zone rule on the what was the second restart of the night. So not the best way to make your IFAR debut, and leaving on top of that. Just it was an impression of all time. But I've also seen worse.
Definitely. Blaine Davis, he's back tonight, running a different number than normal. You might remember him in the 41 in past seasons. He has switched to the 30, so we'll see how he does tonight.
Yeah, he was running fine, but then he got collected in the first caution, and then another insult to injury was getting involved in a big wreck that took him into the sky and out of the race. So he may not be the fastest at road courses, but my general advice is just keep on the track, and you should be able to get a good finish out of it.
Yep. The points leader coming into this race was Cole Rodriguez after winning last week at Daytona. He is not here tonight. I was actually going to pick him as a dark horse pick because he's actually been kind of on the down low-key cooking at some of the road courses I've seen. But
you'll hear it over the
tonight, not quite.
Over the all speak. Alex or Josh or somebody is going to say quiet zone, and then you just don't type anything in chat until the green flag is called in chat. So,
all right. Breaking news: John Cookies is actually alive in the chat, saying it's okay. I'm retired because I'm just too good. Well, there you have it.
Well, those are affirmations I can live by, especially if you know that. You may not be the best out there, but I honestly don't know what else to say.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess we'll go through some more of the field. Who else we got? We got Thomas. Oh, he's dead. We got.
He's dead.
Yeah, we got. we got Garson Muyung, one of the other yellow cars in the field. We got a couple of them. Daniel Scarpolino being the other one. Might be a bit of a spotter's nightmare. Not too much, but we'll see. He's back tonight. Actually, has had some pretty good showings here and there. And it looks like we're actually going to go to the race now. So, yeah, shout out to Garson Muyung, and we'll go to the race.
To your cars.
Alright, so I'm gonna steer us back to Cole Rodriguez. You did mention his road course experience. It's a bit iffy, but last time they went to a road course was Canadian Tire, where he finished 3rd place. And also, ironically enough, all of the top 3 from Canadian Tire are not in this field. So that leaves Gino Bononi, who finished 4th at that race, as the current favorite to win this race.
Daggone. All right. Just try to see how that works.
Drivers, start your engines.
Alright, well, another challenge these guys are going to have to figure out is not dying under pacing. I think Steven Gibson... Did he miss the start?
Right. He pretty much did, yeah.
Daggone, alright.
So unless there's a forgiven reset, that would promote Noah Degenhardt to the front row.
I'm guessing the incentive on that, he thought the full happy hour was going to run out.
Start, Alex, I don't know if that was a reason for that. Steven missed the start. I'm not sure why, but...
Fuck him.
Right, debates going on in the whisper chats.
I'm gonna mute Troxel real quick.
He probably should.
Yeah, I forgot he was a bit of a yipper. I can find him. Gosh dang, where's that brother at? Gosh dang, where? There he is. I forgot they have a whole.
Yeah, you're gonna have to reset his. Steven Gibson has returned.
You're what?
Drivers, to your cars.
Alright, now we got everybody. Hopefully. I get in and out of my car that way. These guys are having to wait 20 years to get this thing on the road.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the goal these first few laps definitely just survive and then see where you end up. Try not to lose too much track position, obviously.
Drivers,
But
start your engines.
sounds like Bruce from Family Guy. I think that's Troxel that he's referring to. Doggone. All right.
As much as I wouldn't like starting up front, that's honestly the best place you would want to be at the starts and even the restarts. It's just so much chaos in the back, and you might as well get ahead of them while you can.
Right.
So now this time, Gibson is on track and will lead the field to green with Lane Lyle beside 2 Toyotas on the front row, followed by 2 Chevys in the second row. And actually a couple more Chevys in rows 3 and 4. So as they make their way off the banking, they'll have to take the chicane, as that's just NR for you.
I hope they don't wreck. That would really suck. Alright, they didn't wreck. We're good. Alright, you want to call them to the green?
Underneath the sun, here at Daytona, we are underway for what I like to call the Rolex 28 in IFAR.
That's a good one, 28 laps. I like that. Big sends into turn 1. Laudenbach already a little loose. 3 wide in some places. They didn't survive.
They did not survive.
Well? Oh, no, Gregory's...
And that'll be Gregory getting hit by Lassard. No reset yet.
From the looks of it, I think it's just a bunch of guys, you know, getting into each other, to be frankly honest. Didn't really see anybody fully go around there.
Yeah, you wanted to avoid contact into turn 1, but just consequences, unfortunately. But Gibson currently leads the way from Degenhardt. Laudenbach has found himself third. Lane, who started in the front rows, has slipped back to fourth.
And I think, you know, a lot of these guys starting to get spread out and be like, alright, I need to figure out what strategy I need to put in for this race. We got 28 more laps of this, so no need to make any big sins right now, unless you're like that desperate.
Well, they're starting to spread out, getting single file, which is something you need to be prepared for as they get out the banking and make their way towards the Le Mans chicane.
Few lockups in. I believe that's, oh yeah, the Le Mans chicane, yeah, I forgot it's called that. few curve hops. Looks like most everybody's surviving. A couple cars slow. They are taking the penalty way around. That's Trevor Davis and the 42 of Jack Lazar. I hope I pronounced that right.
In the front stretch chicane, Stephen Gibson will lead the opening lap, but Noah Degenhardt is right there in the wings.
Oh, a little bit of a slip up there from the 51.
Yeah, that's just something these drivers have to get accustomed to. Turn 1 is such a tricky braking point. You have to straighten out your braking line, as it's effectively a double apex corner through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely so. Jolene Sims versus Daniel Scarpolino. I believe that's for P5. Yeah, it looks like
7
right now
is
7th,
ace
actually.
according to NR.
Something like that.
But Jolene Sims has slipped back, that promoted Gino up to 6th and Scarpolino 7th.
Alright.
It appears to be an RNG failure for the number 1 car of Joe Schmuda. That is an instant DNF, unfortunately.
Well, on to next week, I guess, for them.
And Jack Lazar in the pits likely has a black flag, took a drive-through. But at the top of the charts, it is still Gibson leading over Degenhardt into the Le Mans chicane. Slipping back, meanwhile, is Daniel back in 3rd. Daniel, after not getting the best of starts, has worked his way back up and is now in striking distance to get back into the podium.
And then right there in 5th, Daniel Rivera. They haven't really... I mean, they took a bit of a break after that Darlington incident they've had. Took some time and, reflected, changed their driving style, I'm assuming. And, running 5th right now, I think they're having a pretty good race as well.
Currently 5th place, while the gaggle for 6th still ongoing. Benoni, then it is Scarpolino, who's trying to fend off Sims into turn 1, is currently able to do so.
Oh,
but
big look up!
Oh,
Gino missed the corner as well. That's opening the door for William Viola. He's going to get 3 spots after turn 1.
Viola was 9th at the line and has promoted himself to 6th thanks to a slip up from the 2 leading cars and being able to make the move on Jolene Sims.
I was going to say, where are the Italians there, the 11 and 24, but it looks like they're just playing to chill right now. Or at least they're trying to. To an extent.
Kind of checking lap times. We're only 2 laps in, but the leader right now has a 1 minute 53, which is at least a second off compared to what the lap times were in practice. So definitely heavy tire saving mentalities in mind in the early going.
Yeah, definitely thinking about the long run, because as this field gets spread out, the less likely there is going to be of a yellow, and they actually survived turn 1. There was some hiccups here and there, but nothing enough to warrant a yellow, so it's going to be cutting it close on that one stopper, like we were talking about earlier, being a potential.
Near wreck coming out of the Le Mans chicane as Sims puts the block on Scarpolino.
Yeah, these two right now.
Yeah, I presume this is not their first time, given their car exists, but...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They got a little history.
Yeah, just a little bit. But they're definitely not showing their friendly relationship on track right now in IFR. Currently 3 laps have been completed, 25 more to go. As now there's a battle for 5th between Rivera and Viola, 15 and 27. As they make their way towards the International Horseshoe.
Yeah, someone in the chat saying, why is Lyle sponsoring Viola? It's funny, Fat Boy reference. I'm surprised it wasn't a Dalton Tubbs reference, actually, to be honest.
I didn't think it was a reference at all.
Yeah, I wasn't 100% thinking that, but if there was any reference to get at that at all, I would think Dalton, but someone in the chat was saying it was a Lyle reference, I guess. Which he's only a couple cars ahead, still working on that 44. Well, trying to.
When trying to, the Type 4 have broken off while Rivera currently holding back the rest of the queue. I'm just watching these drivers take the backstretch chicane, just so much give and take, and you got the big yellow turtles on the exit. It's just whether or not you get a good run out of it, or hit the curb too hard and just lose all that speed.
Oh, and Lyle versus Landon. Oh.
Oh, 81 off the curb and wasn't able to make the move on Landon Lonenbeck. Landon versus Landon for P3.
Yeah, I know Lyle gained a lot of time on Lonenbeck there in the Le Mans chicane. That appears to be Lonenbeck's weak point right now.
And a bit of a slip up to turn 1, but still able to hold on for the time being. Meanwhile, behind them two will be Viola, overtaking Rivera for P5 as Jolie Sims nearly spins, but is able to keep the position. She's still spinning her wheels, but in P7, she is having a handful of a race car.
Yeah, Scarpolino, he was a little loose off there as well. Gino had to, I think, back off a little bit.
And it's in turn 6 for this still 5-car battle for 5th place, or sorry, 6 now. Viola is now checking out of that party as Rivera had to do more fighting now against Jolene Sims as they're building up speed towards the high banks. Meanwhile, Scarpolino currently under attack from Gino Benoni, but Benoni backs out.
Yeah, I think Gino is trying to let him know, like, hey, I'm open to making a move. Be ready.
And Sims has gotten a good run out the Le Mans chicane. Makes a move for Rivera, and Rivera is gonna let her go. Jolene Sims up to P6 as Scarpolino locks up, and that's a blown tire. He'll have to cut through the front stretch chicane and immediately into the pits.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they allow for that in here, but we'll see what the officials say post-race.
Well, if you're making the attempt to make the corner, I'd say it's fair game, as long as you give up the time.
Yeah, that's fair as well.
Five laps complete, and the second round of the IFAR Season 16 Championship from the Daytona Road Course. Stephen Gibson, currently your leader, with Noah Degenhardt trying anything to give chase. With Landon Lyle P3 and is now under attack from Landon Lonenbeck and William Viola, currently completing your top 5.
Yeah, I think Lonenbeck and Lyle right now really kind of similar on pace. Like one of them would struggle in one area of the track, and the other one struggles in the other, and it was kind of just a back and forth. But it looks like Viola now gonna take that spot from the 44.
Yeah, Lonenbeck did not get a good run out of turn 6, and where you need all the speed is on the high banks, and the 27 was able to capitalize on the momentum difference. Take a look towards the mid-pack, actually. Wow, there's a bit of downtime. We got Dan Rodriguez, currently 13th, trying to fend off against Harry Crawford. with 20 and 76 respectively. Then it's Benikanov by himself in 15th, Liam Tingley. Then there's a good battle for 18s between Vera, Sella, and Friesen Rodriguez. And Riley Trawick just in the wings of this little battle. They make their way towards the front stretch chicane. Vera in the 61 Ford Mustang able to fend off against Daniel Silla for the time being.
Oh, the 01, he missed the corner. A little bit of a lockup. He's going to lose that. Actually, I don't know. I think he was already behind him, but yeah, he's not going to get any time doing that.
Yeah, but look at all that right side damage on the 01. That's going to affect his performance as Daniel Silla is going to make the move. Oh, nearly spins coming out of the International Horseshoe. So that pass for what would have been 16th place is no more.
Yeah, and that's a big setback for that 43. But that 01, I think they probably hit the wall somewhere. That really is going to hurt them, I think, with the aero damage. I know it's a road course, but with how close it's been lately, I don't know if that's going to be a huge factor or not.
Back towards the front, Viola has promoted himself to the podium places. Then Lyle fell back to fourth. Jolene Sims, and I was going to have her turn on the 81 Toyota. And there she goes out of Speedway turn 4 and into the chicane. Jolene Sims to P4.
That was a very clean pass there, just kind of getting underneath him, out-braking him. Nothing too crazy there.
Viola, interestingly, is cutting a trial, though I presume that's allowed since this is the road course variant.
Yeah,
but
I think
even if it is, I don't know if that's really helping his tires.
Let's see if that continues or not. I'm not sure.
2 leaders of Gibson and Dangenhart have caught Blaine Davis, and whilst they're there, as Dangenhart nearly goes off the track, they are similar in lap times now, but Dangenhart's still within 2 seconds of the race leader.
Yeah, Blaine's going to kind of try to get out the way a little bit there. But yeah, lap cars, that's another factor we got to think about as well. Catching them in those big braking zones, and it's really all about timing on that. Just kind of got to be careful.
The next car up the road is the 42 of Jack Lazar, who is at the Le Mans chicane, just a little bit up the road from Stephen Gibson. So in due time, he will be 1 lap down. Out of the pit lane is the 32 of Chico Shinonome. Has rear end damage, so they've been turned sideways and smacked the barriers at some points, and we're only on lap 8.
Yeah, with this field being so big, the spread being so large, I mean, there's a big chance we've missed a lot of single car stuff that might have happened in the back earlier in this race.
The thing we don't want to miss is battles, as, well, Rivera just wrecked under braking, but I was going to mention Benoni making the move on Joshua Clements for the 8th place spot at the front stretch chicane. And Benoni's going to have to play defense into turn 1. Little wobbly out the 24 for the Mustang, but he gets the position. That's for P7 right now, sorry. But that does bring in Garson Muyang and Ethan O'Connor into the mix.
Yeah, I think Ethan O'Connor, that we haven't really seen any of them, I think since, I want to say C12, but they're back here. I think they're just playing the long game here, just kind of letting this thing play out and see what they can do with it. I think I also want to note Trevor Davis, he had a flat tire. I think he's limping at the pit road. He's on the back straight right now.
Yeah, he's coming to a stop, and he's going to get off the track, so that will not prompt a caution flag.
Yeah, I think that was a wise decision there. It was a long way to pit road. He was in the infield course when he blew that tire, so it was probably a wise decision.
And we're starting to see a lot of DNFs. So Josh Muda wins last car after an RNG failure. Following them will be the 30 and 42 and 31 have been retired. Jabbar currently behind Troxel, Trevor Davis, and Jugo Shirdanome. That is 5 cars out of the race for the time being as we hit lap 10 of 28 in the second round in the IFAR Season 16 Championship at the Daytona Road Course, where Stephen Gibson has led every lap so far, with Noah Dikant waiting in the wings for a slip up.
Speaking of, well, I guess not really speaking of it, but we got pit stops, 81, 44, and 24 entering pit road lap 10, so it looks like they're going to go with a 2-stopper here.
And that's the safer call of the two. The riskier call was going to the end of lap 14, making this a one-stop race. Feel suggests that you could barely get there, but I don't know about those tires if you aren't careful with them.
Yeah, it takes some pretty masterful driving to keep those tires at bay.
Now, unlike real life, the pit speed line ends at the yellow line as you would on the oval circuit, so you're able to speed through the little access road into turns 1 and 2 of the road course and just power out the S's and get back in race speed.
Liam Tingley, Daniel Still, oh, he's going to really lock the brakes on entry, and it looks like the 86 on pit road.
Flat tire for the 43, and
oh wow, yeah, he's really struggling right now.
Yeah, I think he didn't know his pit box was. That's just something that's something you need to know when it comes to happy, or figure out where your pit stall is, even if it's a bit obvious, but depending on qualifying position. But you always want to make sure where you are and how you tackle your pit stops, and also know your pit neighbors in case they pit with you.
Definitely.
Got more pitters, that being the 61 of Vera, along with O'Connor, 16 of Tropic, 15 of Rivera, Crawford in the 76, and Daniel Rodriguez in the 20. Majority of the field is favoring two-stop strategy, including our 2 leaders. They're both in the first and second stalls. Stephen Gibson is away, and Noah Dikant waiting for possible damage repair or something is a miss. Then that number 5 car, that is a extremely long stop.
Oh yeah, they're already getting beat by a lot of points. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe they got a penalty. Maybe they, I don't know.
Yep, number 5 did not enter the pit safely, so that will promote William Viola to 2nd place.
Yeah, that's going to be a ton of spots lost for the 5. They're going to come out just ahead of Ethan O'Connor in the 28.
And if you're Gibson, you're kind of get straight to believe that now that the 5 is not 2nd place anymore, you got a little ways back before you find the 27 of William Viola, who will retrieve P2 once the pit cycle completes. So you got a bit of a bigger gap than what you came in with.
Yeah, definitely so. And you know, with that in mind, they can definitely gamble a little bit, save a bit more tire. There's a lot you can play with a lead that big.
And from here, you could go to the end of 19 to cut this final 18 laps in half, but perhaps if you're Gibson, you might as well take the extra lap, you get another 10 lap stint, and pit at the conclusion of lap 20, so you have 1 lap fresher tires and not have to risk fall off in the final stint.
Yeah, that as well. Another thing to note, Viola, you know, he didn't quite get the qualifying run he was wanting. He's gained quite a few spots since the start of this race. We don't know what he has. He might actually have something for this 51 if he can be able to get that time up. Only time will tell.
We'll see this time by what the gap is between the 27 and 51. But currently Viola is under pressure from the 06 of Jolene Sims. There's 16 seconds between two leaders, so Gibson can just chill, really. He doesn't need to push his tires. He could just honestly fall back to these goobers and possibly up team fastest lap while he's at it.
Definitely, yeah. This battle for second really heating up right now. That 06 trying to get that track position, but the problem is fighting for the spot. That's only allowing that 51 to pull away just that much more.
You're thinking that, well, it's a two-stop. There's no real point to tire saving anymore. I say you still need to, because even if you're battling, you can still not face the possibility of a bigger fall off compared to your rival if you were to save your stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Track position is key.
As the battle for second exits the Le Mans chicane, Steven Gibson is at the front stretch chicane with a 16-second advantage, about to complete the 12th lap out of 28 here at the Daytona Road Course. As Jolene Sims, she's at it again at the front stretch chicane, but Viola is not giving up the spot easily. Jolene Sims has to hop the curb, and now what was a battle for second will transpire into a battle for third between Sims and Lyle.
Yeah, Lyle, he had a really good entry and exit there on that back stretch, or the front stretch chicane, I think that's what it's called. And there, oh, he just got in a little bit. I think he's holding on.
Yeah, he clipped the inside wall through turn 2, but still able to keep the car straight and live to fight another day. Gonna exchange for 8th place, Noah Degenhardt, after his stop and hold penalty for unsafe entry. Now back up to P8, overtaking the 70 of Carson Muyang.
Yeah, he's got. I don't know if he's gonna be able to gain much. I don't know how much of that ground he's gonna be able to gain back, but it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what he's gonna be able to do here in this 5 car.
The 5 car is currently the fastest driver on track with a 1 minute 52.59. Second place, your race leader Steven Gibson with a 52.719.
Getting close to halfway, but I don't know how much it's gonna matter. Nobody's really taking that gamble.
And no one's taking the one-stop gamble.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Still on pit road along with William Gregory.
You're right, flat spots would mean more pit stops, so that's something Gregory nor setup would want here at Daytona.
Oh, 31, I don't think he's gonna park it. Yep, he's done for the night.
Yeah, both of them. Both the 31 and 43 outs.
Yep. Race of attrition.
So that leaves 22 cars left in the race.
Ike Rivera there in the 61. They're about to go a lap down. Actually, they're one of the lower cars running in the field. Yeah, they're the last car in lead lap right now. About to go lap down.
They're just checking along. Nothing really they could note down.
Yeah.
Jolene Sims has caught back up to Viola to try this again for second place. And the 06 actually set her personal best last time round with a 1 minute 54 188. That being 3/10 faster than Viola last time round.
I think Lyle, he's still lurking back there. I feel like he could push a little bit more if he wanted to. I think he's thinking, you know, maybe catch him at the end of this run before that last pit stop and put yourself in a better place, potentially.
He might be doing just that. As Stevie Gibson crosses the line, we are officially halfway in the second round of the IFR Championship through 16th season. Second round at the Daytona Road Course, Stevie Gibson with a 18.3 second advantage over William Viola, who is currently trying to fend off Jolene Sims and Lana Lyle, who are running third and fourth, with Lana Lyle back fifth, Gino Bononi 6th, Joshua Clements 7th, Noah Degenhardt 8th, Garson Muyanga P9, and Ethan O'Connor completing your top 10 after 14 out of 28 laps are completed.
And that field spread has definitely just gotten so much now. The differentiation of, you know, how much people push, skill level, another thing to account for. It's really going to come down to strategy and then hitting your marks on that last pit stop.
Alright, so we are halfway through this stint, so we expect pit stops around lap 19 or 20.
Yeah, I would think that'd probably be the best way to go. And you might see someone try to do a little bit of an undercut, maybe an overcut, but we'll just have to see what people end up doing.
Belankinov spins at the Le Mans chicane, but is able to get back going. Currently, low on speed is going to get overtaken by Scarrett, who is trying not to get lapped by race leader Steven Gibson.
Yeah, and I was talking about these lap cars. Heavy braking zones, the 86!
And that's a lockup.
Yeah, it's going to pull up to the 51 a little bit, but again, it's such a big lead. You can risk slowing down a little bit if you got a lap car. It's having some problems.
And Gibson was wise at just backing off more than he should, just to allow the 86 to recoup the car, and even if he gives up at least a second by doing that, it saves his race.
Pretty much. Well, it's nice to have the bigger number between you and second towards the finish. Oh, and the 71s bend it.
And that's at the International Horseshoe at the upper groove of the track, and the 86 blindsided is going to just stop before a collision.
Oh.
And the 71 goes around again. I think he hit a barrier that.
Yeah.
That's just. Yeah. When building tracks, it's just one of those things you could select for the invisibles.
Yep. Yeah, I think with the 86 burnt tires, I mean, maybe a little lack of experience if I had to guess. Could have went lower, but thankfully they didn't go full in T-bone him, knock him flipping. That would have did some damage, but you know.
And he's still locking up. He's after a spin, your tires are hot. You just wanna nurture them before going back into full race speed, and that's just one of the things this rookie will have to learn with NR2003 or just sim racing in general if this is his first time in the online scene.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell he's really trying to, like, manage it best he can. He's locking up just a little bit, like, alright, I need to take a little bit easier, which, yeah, I think he's trying to just make it to that last stop. I kind of respect it to an extent, so, you know, he's not doing the worst, so we'll see what he does.
He has just been overtaken by the 61 of Iguavera for the 19th place spot. Back towards the battle for second, Jolene Sims closed up, but not able to make the moves into the front stretch chicane. She'll have to get within striking distance as they make their way towards the infield section.
And they got a couple lap cars as well. Again, that 86. 61, I think, not as slow. so it might not be much of an issue from the 61 to the 86. I think these guys got a little weary of seeing they've been having a lot of hiccups here and there.
As a lap car, all you need to do is be predictable. Let the car overtake you, do the work. The 86 is going to go into the grass, which...
not exactly the most predictable, but hey, at least they didn't slow him down or nothing.
It works at very minimum.
Yeah. And Lyle still working there in P4.
He has fallen off in relation to Sims and Viola. The 27 and 06 has set 1 minute 54 his last time round. Meanwhile, Landon Lyle in the 81 money line Toyota has set a 155 last time.
Yep, there's that 61 going to lap down on the top. They're going to slow down just a little bit, let these guys by.
Yep. Igor Vera currently the lucky dog if a caution were to come out.
Big lockup out of the 86 there again. Oh, they blew a tire. That tire finally went out on them.
Yeah, they'll have to make their way down to the pits. Thankfully, they're almost to the pits. They'll just have to go through the apron in Speedway 3 and 4.
Yeah, just gotta limp it through. Try not to overshoot this chicane here, which, you know, ain't gonna matter too much. Oh, here comes the 2492. Ooh, a little scary. Oh, the 5! The 5 of Degenhardt.
Degenhardt's around.
They were just catching up to the 92 and 24. I wonder if that a mistake from the 86 kind of was a domino effect. They're going to come to pit road as well. A little early, like I said, that undercut. They were kind of forced into it, but
Yeah.
strategy nonetheless.
It was a 42-second gap between Degenhardt and race leader Steven Gibson, so even with a large gap like that, you gotta at least try something.
Right. This battle for 5th still fairly hot as well. I think these two just can kind of been seeing what they can do to best one another in an extent, maybe just letting this play out until that last pit stop. But they've been running really close to these past, almost this entire run, honestly. That's for 5th.
It is Gino Bononi in the orange and yellow Ford Mustang trying to fend off against Joshua Clements in the dark blue and black Chevrolet as they make their way through Speedway 1 and 2. Pretty even in lap times, so it's going to be hard to shake them, if you will.
Yeah, I think the next car to them, Garson Milyoung, a bit further back. They're really close right now through the Lamar chicane. Oh, 92's got a run on the bottom. Thinks better of it.
Trying. Sad about it, but...
Yeah, could have pushed the envelope, but remember, we still got a few laps to go. These guys still got to pit again. Might not be worth it to make that move just yet.
Yep, 10 laps with a pit stop in between. Points of no return and 4 to go, I do believe.
Yeah, and 4th and 3rd place. They're in pit road now, 81 and 06.
Right, they'll try the undercuts. I'm trying to split this final run in half. Be easy 4-tire call for those two.
Yep, 06, Jolene Sims. They're running right on Viola there that last run. If they can hold on, this might be what they need to get that track position ahead of that 27. Go for 2nd.
Yeah, Viola's kind of just gonna have to monitor these two and determine whether to go another lap or if he has to pit this time round to fend off the undercut.
Yeah, well, depends on how far you want to be behind him, but that's also going to factor in how fresh your tires might be as well.
Yeah, even just one lap of fresher tires makes a difference. This is a 2X rare, but it's also a very tire demanding road course we have in stake tonight.
We'll see if he pits this time by. And if not, we'll have to see.
Coming out of Speedway 4 and into the front stretch chicane.
I think he's going to wait.
Yeah, he's going to go another lap. Just make this a 10-lap stint, much like Steven Gibson is going to.
Yeah, Steven is checked out. It would take something crazy for him to lose that much time.
And meanwhile, the battle for fifth is now in the pits with Benoni and Clements pitting together.
Yeah, nose and tail. These two they're not leaving anything between them. Oh, a little bit of a bump there on pit road entry, or pit stall entry rather. I don't think that's gonna be too much of a factor.
It's one thing to battle each other on track. Now you gotta fight each other in the pits, and not to mention they're pit neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta also make
It's
sure
gonna
not
be-
speed as well.
Yeah, bit of a side-by-side out of the pits, but ultimately Benoni will fend off the spots coming out of the pits.
I think for those guys, it's gonna be a little bit of a game of patience. Now towards the end of this run, like, do you want to push, get that spot, or do you want to wait, let the other guy wear his tires out? There's Noah Degenhart. Remember they had that undercut. They're already back up here. And I believe is that Crawford for position?
Yeah, he's a little squirmy, but it is indeed. But I don't think he has pitted yet.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait for he pits, see where he shuffles out.
Oh, spin for Gio Benoni at the Western Horseshoe is going to be at the runoff area, and he'll have to rejoin the track behind Harry Crawford and crew.
Yeah, 5-car just drove through him. So I'm sure he's not going to be too happy about that. That was very unfortunate there.
And I don't want to say don't blame the 5 for being as aggressive as he is, but when you have a pit lane penalty that ultimately costed your race, you're trying to fight for every second you can possibly make up, and unfortunately, that time round it resulted in contact.
Yeah, definitely so. Another thing to mention, the 5 and the 92 teammates. So I'm sure that 92 has that tire advantage by a few laps here. We'll see where that negates.
Right. William Viola out of the pits from second place. They're gonna have to,
Yeah, right
for
behind
the
that
time being,
S16.
yeah, they're gonna maybe be side by side out of the pits. Nope. Jolene Sims up to second, while Steven Gibson has yet to pit, I do believe.
Yeah, I mean, they'll gain some time on him now, but I don't know if... Oh, yeah, 42 spun back there. He's fine.
Yeah, out of the Western Horseshoe, but he is back rolling.
Yeah, they're going to gain a little time on him now, but when he pits, he's going to have those fresher tires, and he should be able to just keep doing what he's been doing this whole race, just executing.
Currently under 10 laps to go in the second round of the IFAR Championship Season 16 at the Daytona Road Course. Steven Gibson has led every lap so far, and after pit stops, Jolene Sims has taken P2 away from William Viola, with Landon Lyle in P4 and Noah Degenhart P5. We'll have to wait to see after the pit cycle sorts itself out to know the actual running order. And Trawick into the pits. It's going to be a drive-through penalty for speeding. And it's going to be a big lockup for the 42 of Jack Lazar at turn 1, but he's able to stay off the barriers and looks to be a park? Question mark?
I think he's thinking about towing, potentially. Okay, no, I think he's Not sure what he's...
Well, he has a tire down, and he's going to tow.
There goes.
And it was at turn 1 as well, so that's likely we won't be seeing him turning laps until probably the white flag.
Yeah, it's a long tow.
Viola has caught back up to Jolene Sims for second place. He has 1 lap fresher tires compared to the 06 car.
Yeah, only time will tell see if he's going to be able to catch that 06. Gap seems to be barely maintained there. See how much time's gained in the Le Mans chicane. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, a little bit faster out of the chicane is William Viola, but not by much. He did just complete his out lap the last time round, so this lap when he crosses the line we'll know what the lap times look like out of the 27.
Yeah, he did gain a little bit of time there in the backstretch chicane, or at least visually.
A 1 minute 53.70 for Sims and a 53.79 for William Viola. That is his personal best of the race.
There you go, he's going in, locking in, execution. You see Riley Trawick up there, lap down car. Not sure if they're going to be a factor since they did pit. Actually, I don't know how close they pit to these guys, but they might end up being a little bit of a factor regardless.
I want to say 2 laps ago by this point, and she did have a drive-through penalty, thus why she is a lap down.
Ah, there you go.
Might work into Jolene's favor because she could get trapped, but looks to me the Trawick is just going to stay out of the way. But 27 could use some draft.
A little bit. Get that slipstream.
And a spin in the infield section. That is Daniel Rivera in the number 15. Just out of the pit runoff. And near hits is the 61 of Vera, but thankfully no collision, but that is awfully dangerous.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a lock up there, trying to keep it straight, but unfortunately goes around on them. They're running 11th. Man, that was a near collision there from the 61. That could have been bad.
Could have been bad. Side by side into the Le Mans chicane is Garson Muyang and Gino Benoni's teammates.
Where'd Josh go? I think something happened to Gino, because Gino was up there with Josh, and Gino's falling back a lot.
Remember, he had that spin after contact with Dagenhardt. It looks to me Benoni gonna continue his march upward as he has overtaken Garza-Mullion for 8th place at the front stretch chicane.
I completely forgot about that spin he had. Shoot.
And speaking of Dagenhardt, he finds himself in the clutches of Joshua Clements for 5th place as they exit the Western Horseshoe.
Yeah, that 5, a little bit older tires. We'll have to see how they hold on to that.
Yeah, he pitted lap 17, which is awfully early, but it was in a forced hand given he spun out of the front stretch chicane just prior to pitting. So definitely, that fallout is definitely taken into effect for the number 5 Chevrolet. Point to no return has been reached. Stevie Gibson currently leads 21 seconds over second place, which is currently the hot match right now between Jolene Sims and William Viola.
Yeah, this battle is kind of just slowly organized. It hasn't really been one of those, you know, big gains. It's just been like, alright, gain a little bit here, a little bit there.
Well, they've been neutral in terms of lap times, but that last time round, William Viola puts up another personal best, that being a 1 minute 53.554. And in terms of fastest lap times, now he is on par with Jolene Sims.
Yeah, a little slip up there.
You could be forgiven through the infield section, but here, turn 6 is where you do not need a slip up. That wasted momentum will pay you dearly on the high bakes.
Yeah, definitely so. This is like one of the biggest, I'm not going to say straightaways, but you're flat out here for a good bit. Definitely don't want to lose any momentum.
They're not straight by any means, but definitely could use a lot of speed that you can carry through the steep banking. Here though, at the Le Mans chicane, you're gonna have to brake for it. You gotta set yourself up just right to get more momentum through speedway 3 and 4. And spin out of the front stretch chicane. That's Friesen Rodriguez. He has called it quits. The 0-1 machine retired out of the race. That leaves 17 cars left on the race course. 9 laps left. We'll need 3 more for Stephen Gibson to cap off a perfect race for him.
Yeah, next car up the road for him is Daniel Scarpolino. I'm not sure where he's at, but in terms of pit cycle, but he's a little further up the road, just a little bit.
Scarpolino currently 12th in his IFAR debut. A solid run for him as the battle for fifth side by side through the S's in the infield. Joshua Clements has the preferred line into the international horseshoe, but I don't suspect Degenhardt is going to give this up easily.
Yeah, getting that run off there. Yeah, that 5 car, you see they're wiggling, trying to get some grip. The side-by-side through here is very difficult. That 92 had to really lift there, because you can't really go side-by-side there for the most part. Oh,
yeah,
these two are going at
it. As Degenhardt has been slinging his car around through the infield section. I suppose Clements at this point has that in the back of his head. It's like, when he slips, kicks his rear end out, he gotta make them get... I can't speak.
That's
He's gotta peek his nose under to get side by side with them.
Yeah, he's not letting him go. Come to 2 to go at the line here. I believe Steven has already crossed it.
Yep, Gibson at turn 1. Meanwhile, the pit RG Bargy for, not for position, but it was between the 11 of Scarpolino and the 61 of Icavera.
Battle for second. 27.06 coming into turn 1.
Viola has the inside on Sims.
Oh, holy pinch.
With Sims trying to cut out the 27, but it is now go time for William Viola. He's got his nose under into the international horseshoe, and he'll get the job done. William Viola up to second with Daniel Rodriguez up the road as a lapped car.
Yeah, he's locking up. He's trying to get this thing to finish at this point. That 20 car struggling a little bit.
Yeah, he has fresher tires compared to Sims, so that was definitely the right time to pounce on her.
Yeah, that was really well executed. Battle for 5th is still heating up. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We're getting close to the white flag here.
Two Chevrolets fighting each other for 5th as they have been doing ever since the conclusion of the final pit cycle.
Oh,
all the way to the apron goes Dikant trying to fend off Clements.
Coming to the white here, Steven Gibson has led them all. He's going to try to lead one more.
Final lap for Steven Gibson. Meanwhile, Jolene Sims has lost time through the Le Mans chicane, and that helps with Daniel Rodriguez in the way between these two.
Yeah, I'm slipping battle to battle right now. I know that. Oh, that 92 got a, well, yeah, I guess that's visually got a big run, but not really.
You have to try something. He has 14 more corners to get into the top 5.
Yeah, he got a lot bigger gap down what we've seen. He's only got 1 lap to get it. It's going to take a mistake out of this 5 car, I think.
As they head to the infield, Steven Gibson exits the infield, and now it's almost smooth sailing. Just 2 more chicanes for him to go, and he'll be the victor tonight.
Yeah, he's really putting on a clinic tonight.
And Scarpellino does a little bit of long moving service through the Le Mans chicane. He'll go a lap down to cap off his debuts. But tonight, it is all about the 51. One pole has led every lap tonight. Looked to do well at the speedway version, but got backed out. But coming through the front stretch chicane, it is all Steven Gibson here at Daytona.
Nice job. A battle for 5th. We'll keep an eye on it here, see if anything formulates out of it. I really think that 92 has lost touch. Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, now second place has exited the front stretch chicane. William Viola takes second place. Jolene Sims caps off the podium places. Landon Lyle by his lonesome will grab 4th place.
One last sim for the
Clements
92, not
trying
enough.
something. Oh, but Dikant may have to get
he's
a
gonna
tad
run.
bit of time.
Ah,
Into the grass goes Clements.
dirty block there. Holy.
Dirty block for car number 5 to finish P5. But it gets the job done, I suppose.
All right, here comes Ethan O'Connor. He's going to try to close in for, I believe that's going to be P7. Gino Bononi right behind him. That's going to be a little close. O'Connor's got it.
Yeah, O'Connor 7's in his return to IFAR. Gene Bononi P8 with teammates Garcia and P9. And
P10.
coming up a speedway turn 4, he'll have one more chicane to go before Harry Crawford will be granted a 10th place finish.
I mean, honestly, this race, 28 laps, that doesn't sound like a lot, but, you know, some of these guys running a lot of laps like that at a track like this, it's not an easy track. At least I don't think so. I would be proud just to cross the line. That's a accomplishment in and of itself, I think.
It's EGT just going over the whispers. But yeah, Daytona Road Course, it's simple in design, but take heavy stock cars around here and it's anything but simple.
Oh, yeah. And Steven Gibson, after leading, I think he led almost every lap this race. He's going to burn it down here on the front stretch. And he is putting on a smoke show.
Right, we got a dominant win not coming from AGG, but it's still a well-deserved win out of Steven Gibson.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. He had a big field tonight. 30 cars and just no cautions. We had some hiccups here and there. Nobody's perfect, but hey, you know, imperfections, that's what makes the race worth watching sometimes. And, you know, Steven just executed, did everything he did.
Yeah. Before interviews, let's read off the unofficial finishing order, pending penalties. Steven Gibson leads every lap en route to victory, 22.3 seconds ahead of William Viola. Jolene Sims will cap off the podium with Landon Lyle P4, Noah Degenhardt P5, Joshua Clements P6, Ethan O'Connor P7, Gina Bononi P8, Garson Muyang P9, and Harry Crawford completing your top 10. Dan Rivera P11 with Scarpellino and P12. Good job for him on his IFAR debuts. Liam Tingley P13, Daniel Rodriguez P14, Rory Trewick 15th, Fred, I'm gonna butcher it again, Fred Beletnox, that'll be 16th place for him on his debuts. Igor Vera P17, Reason Rodriguez P18, the first car out of the race. Jack Lazar P19 and Landon Lonneback completing your top 20. Ryan Scare 21st, William Gregory 22nd, Daniel Silla P23, Chico Shionome P24, Trevor Davis 25th, Thomas Troxel 26th, Blaine Davis 27th, and Joe Schmuda will win last car in 28th place.
All right, yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and see if we got any interviews at the moment. Right now, it looks like league founder and SCR owner Arya Carmona in the waiting room right now. So since there's no one else, I guess we'll go ahead and bring them in.
User was moved to your channel.
And
Arya Carmona, is your mic working this time?
Yes, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, it was pretty good. P3, I believe. Jolene Sims is one of your drivers for Scuderia Carmona Racing. Takes the podium places. With Noah Degenhardt and Joshua Clements also was in the top 10. Care to explain that?
Yeah, of course. Look, it was an amazing race drive by all of our race drivers. Of course, Ruby had an amazing battle all through the race with William Villa for the P2 position. In the end, we came a little bit short. So result P3, still a podium, back-to-back podiums to start the season. Can't go wrong with that. Noah was fighting right up there with Gibson for the lead, of course, especially in the early stages. Just fell back at the penalty, but amazing recovery to P5. Just made it on the end with fuel. Joshua had a solid race, starting in the latter half of the top 10, getting right up there to the top of the latter top 10. And then Liam starting from the back, coming all the way up to P13. Can't complain. It was amazing drives by such talented drivers. Obviously, Noah, big shout out again. Really leading this team as its, number one lead race driver, world champion caliber. Super happy with him, super happy with the rest of the team, and I'm just so proud of everybody for the effort.
Well, definitely an order of tires. We saw Jolene Sims able to beat William Viola out of the pits, but ultimately struggled to keep pace with the 27th car. With Old Atlanta coming in next Saturday, how does your team tackle that?
Yeah, I mean, with regards to Atlanta, we have a lot of data. It's one of our strongest circuits. So we'll definitely be going over the notes, running some testing. The call with Sims regarding that pit stop. We saw that she was quicker, so he did want to undercut her, get ahead, get the track position on Viola. Unfortunately, in the end, it didn't work out, but it's still good effort nonetheless. We did the same thing with Noah. He was able to hold on as well, so really in the end, it kind of just came down to circumstances. Great battles, close field, but with Atlanta, we anticipate that battle to be even more so. It's going to be a race of discipline, a race of strategy, and we're looking forward to it for sure.
Any questions from you, Zach?
No, just congrats on the, you had a pretty good day as a team owner. Obviously this race, no cautions, went pretty good. Next week, obviously Atlanta, we'll have to see how that goes, but yeah, congrats on the podium and a good points day.
Yeah, exactly. That's the key takeaway here. Just a good points day, can't complain, and we'll keep it moving.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining us.
User was moved out of your channel.
Go ahead and bring in our second place finisher, William Viola.
User was moved to your channel.
William Viola, do you got us?
Yes, I do.
Well, new driver of the Mali Cup Racing, and you already do me proud with a runner-up finish here at the Daytona Road Course. Talk us through the second place battle you had between you and Jolene Sims.
Yeah, I mean, I had a really bad qualifying. Qualified 10th. I locked up twice, once into turn 3 and then into the final chicane. Had to fight my way through the field, which didn't put myself in the best position there. But then just got through the field, and then Jolene was similar pace to me, and once I got up to Jolene, we just worked together all race, and incredible battle the second half of the race with the strategy and the overcut. But yeah, that's a podium.
Yeah. I noticed the pit stops are very interesting. Was your initial plan to did you feel like the strategy was rushed a little bit, or did you plan on pitting a little later on there? Because I know some of it was a bit forced. I'm kind of curious what the thought process was originally for pit stops and how much that aligned with what actually happened in the race.
So during practice, a lot of what I saw was the fuel said it would be it would go 13, 14 laps. So I was like, okay, I can just save that. I've done crazy saves before at Coda, and I can just do that again. But that number slowly got more and more, and I realized, okay, this is going to be a 2-stopper. So I just went as long as I could on the gas, and yeah, I mean, there wasn't really much strategy, unfortunately, in the race. It was just stop twice, but
Gotcha.
Yeah, with tire advantage against Jolene Sims next week will be Atlanta with the old surface. It's one thing to save on a road course, but do we expect something similar in terms of your tire strategy come next week?
I mean, intermediates, I'm not good at all on intermediates. I mean, I've won on them before, but it doesn't happen often. Tires are... I'm hoping it's like a low grip, high tire wear track, like how the real one is. But who knows? That's up to Alex, however he wants to make the track.
Right. Assuming there's no more questions, congratulations on your second place finish. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. Well, I think that's everybody. The race was pretty good. 28 laps, 14, or not 14. I guess it wasn't 14 laps. I guess like I had thought. There's a lot of mistakes, a lot of not really a lot of strategy, but execution was really the main key today. I think tire wear was also a factor, but ultimately I think it was just hitting your marks and then trying to maintain that track position.
It sure was. And with Atlanta being next on the calendar, who knows what could turn up? It's the first intermediate of the season. With Cole Rodriguez, your points leader heading in, not showing up tonight, that opens up the door to not only the points lead, but to the 10 drivers who will qualify for the chase after the regular season.
Great. You got any last statements before we go ahead and get this thing shut down?
Race overall, congratulations to Steven Gibson on a perfect race, perfect execution. And yeah, thank you for having me, Zach.
Right. Well, on behalf of Cheese Food, Victor, Alex, everybody involved, I want to thank everybody for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, be sure to like, subscribe anyway, because why not? Next week, again, Atlanta. I believe NARL's starting up. I want to say next week. I'd have to double check on that. And then Essex, that'll also be back next week here on Cheese Food. Again, be sure to like.